I think the zodiac signs, they don't give a fuck in different ways. And I can only like lean towards speaking for the air. Like, if you just don't know, you don't know. And if you don't know about something, it's your responsibility to kind of know it, you know? And I'm sure earth signs could kind of lean towards that too. Earth signs don't give a fuck about just like, if you don't have shit. Sometimes Virgos like to help other people out for some reason, because I've had some, you know, they've been in there. But like, obviously earth signs, if like you don't have something, then you like, that's like too bad for you kind of shit. The fire signs, they're just like, they're like kind of their own like tornado, or they're just do anything, you know? They'll just like do whatever they kind of want type of shit, and they won't give a fuck. But like, all of them could kind of like lean towards each other. And the water signs, I think they're just like, they could kind of like, you know, have a relationship where they, with their emotions, where they don't give a fuck about anything else, because it's all about their emotions. So like the signs, they don't give a fuck in different ways, you know. But like, if you don't realize that, like it's not just like some people who say like we don't give a fuck type of shit, like no fucking shit, dude. It's like, but it's like they don't realize that other people don't give a fuck too. And it's like, and they could give a fuck in different ways. So it's like, some people are just like ignorant to the fact that like other people, like, they just don't give a fuck too, though, and they don't know it though. Like they don't know, you know. Like they're like, there's just this like, and then that kind of connects to like the whole growth phase, because you have to kind of grow into a realization itself, right? You have to grow in. So that's why people are just like, they don't know, you know. They don't know about they just don't know like how other people, like, no, like they don't realize that other people don't give a fuck too, if like, because they're only catering to like their individual perspective and bias of like how they don't give a fuck, and they think everything works how they do. And some people, and like I could say that because I'm growing through that human psychology. So when I say that, I'm not trying to like necessarily like rag on you, even though there's some irony there. I'm just saying the signs give a fuck in different ways, and this is an intuitive one. This is for the video game of life, obviously. And just kind of like seeing like because obviously like 10 years from now, none of this fucking shit's gonna matter. Like, all of the shit that people fucking think about, low key, it doesn't fucking matter. And it's like, it's ironic as fuck, because I'm coming from a bigger magnitude of I don't give a fuck. Because if you think something's gonna happen a fucking certain way and it doesn't fucking happen that way, and you're saying you don't give a fuck, that's a lie, because you give a fuck about the outcome. So if you give a fuck about the outcome and you're saying no one gives a fuck, there's a different, it's like a context thing. So it's like, that's the growth. We don't have the realization of the intelligence of like, of just realizing like some of us give a fuck about certain things, you know. So it's not to be confused, like, for us to speak for everyone and say like no one gives a fuck. That doesn't make sense. Like, you give a fuck about your family, perhaps. You give a fuck about yourself, perhaps. And if you don't, that's why you're having a particular cause to your toxic behaviors. And I get how all of us have to release, but like, we could do it like kind of by like with fellowship, right? Cooperation. Like some fire signs, they just like, they don't give a fuck, you know. Like, they like naturally, all the fire signs, they naturally just don't give a fuck. But that doesn't necessarily speak about their other characteristics of how they could be toxic or not toxic, you know. So so say hi to the family. So we're all healing together, right? I think we're healing together. I don't know, because we're here, you know. But like, that was a quick one about like yeah, what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? Con permiso. ¿Qué hora es, por favor? ¿Qué hora es, por favor? Señor? Okay, no, ¿qué hora es? Maybe he doesn't speak Spanish. But anyways, ¿qué hora es? That means what time is it in Espanol, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But like the thing, but like if you're too toxic generally, you could kind of fall out of suit with just your basic element of your quote unquote sun sign, end quote. And even if you have your sun sign and you're not feeling that to be your prominent element, it could just kind of like lean out of that, you know. It doesn't have to be that, you know, like, because you could choose your element. Your mind goes, your attention goes where your mind flows, your mind goes where your attention flows. So within all of that, it's like some people don't realize that, like, so the title of this video would be called parentheses, some people don't realize, and parentheses, the different the different natures of not caring, right? Not caring, and not to be, and like seeing how like we could and how we don't care is kind of, it's low-key self-care, right? So it's self-care. So I'm like, and obviously like we don't have to say it's all about our element, you know. We could expand to the other elements, we could expand to the intention, right? The quote unquote some type of like higher self ether, the intention. So within all of that, I'm going to a class right now, and I just bought some juice, but it's just very interesting, like how like people could say they don't give a fuck and they're attached to all these things, but that's the trick. That's a whole different thing, you know, for us to have a mutual understanding of quote unquote detachment. You have the best life ever.